INEC is going about town to ensure that the distribution of sensitive and non-sensitive materials are done based on what they have planned and what they have scheduled. So Channels television reporters are all around the state, from Orumba to Onitsha. We are monitoring this situation. There are a few concerns, though, in town, especially where the distributions are happening. A lot of apprehension as to the issues of logistics. There are a lot of the ad hoc officials who are still waiting in the wings, waiting on the moment when they will be able to collect and distribute the materials. Those are the reports that we are getting on the ground, and Channels Television can confirm that to you. We did hear from the INEC rec earlier, the man who is at the arms of affair here, who told us that everything has been planned, transportation intact, but it looks so much that much will have to be done in the coming hours to ensure that the 8 a.m. start to this exercise tomorrow will be indeed a success. Well, let's tell you about the security situations in and around town. There are stops and checks by the Nigerian police. We did also can tell you that about 26,000 police men and women are on the ground. 3 choppers, we understand, will hover around the 3 major senatorial districts to monitor this election. And also in the riverine areas, there are gunboats, and the Navy will assist the police and other security agencies on the ground. Earlier on, we spoke with the DIG in charge of this election, that is the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Joshak, who told us about the plans of the police. Take a listen to him.
We are looking at a situation where there won't be less than 5-6 security personnel placed in each of the polling units, and that has informed our opinion of bringing in 21,000 to meet the 5,000 policemen on ground here, bringing the total to 26 physically captured by names and deployed by names.
And we'll be seeing area surveillance also. What about the sea?
We have 3 helicopters dedicated, 1 each to the senatorial district. This one will be aerial patrol, but it will also assist even our next staff if there are reasons why we have to get them. We also have 15 gunboats supported by the Nigerian Navy on the sea. There are 3 local governments that is predominantly water. If you go to Onitsha and watch through, you will.
And so that's a word from the Nigerian police, the most senior police officer in Anambra State as we speak, and who is in charge of this election. Okay, now let's look at some other areas. What other people are saying about this election. International and local observers are monitoring this election for us and to see what exactly is going to be happening tomorrow. One man who is the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Election Monitoring Group is Mr. Festus Okoye. He joins us now on Channels Television to give us an insight into what exactly is happening. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoye, for joining us on Channels Television. So what can you tell us precisely from what yourself and your group have seen so far in terms of preparations, the conduct and security?
Well, I think that the Independent National Electoral Commission understands the centrality of this election to the whole democratic process in Nigeria. And from what we have seen, the non-sensitive materials were distributed on time. The sensitive materials are also being moved at the appropriate time to the appropriate places. So in terms of preparation, I think that the Independent National Electoral Commission is on top of their game. But what we want to see is a situation where they will make sure that nothing goes wrong with this particular election, and they will make sure that all the personnel that have been trained for the purposes of the conduct of this election are the personnel that will be found out there in the field tomorrow. So as of today, the Bar Association has 8 branches in Anambra State. The chairman of the 8 branches are properly mobilized, and the MB Election Working Group is also on ground, and they are moving around the various local governments to have a feel of what is going to happen tomorrow. But tomorrow we are going to deploy fully. Yes.
Looking at the legality, since you're a representative of the Nigerian Bar Association, yes, what can you tell us? Has there been any infringement or infraction to the Nigerian law, especially to the Nigerian Electoral Act, in this exercise so far? What do you see? What are your fears?
Well, I think that the various political parties and the various candidates understand the provisions of the law. They know when they are supposed to stop campaigning. They know when they are supposed to remove their campaign materials from the polling units. Because they know some of these things, they don't want to infringe on the law and dent the chances of their being declared the winners of this election. So as of today, I think that the campaigns have been very peaceful. The conduct of the political parties has been very, very okay. And if you also look at the conduct of their primaries, you can see that the quantum and volume of litigations that was expected has not been there. And I think that one thing that is fundamental in this election is that the candidates have all gone out to go and appeal to the electorates for votes.
Okay. Yes. Before I allow you to go, yes, election is tomorrow morning, yes, 8 a.m. From what INEC has been doing in the past to review the law, to amend the law, which areas do you think is critical for this election that you think perhaps INEC is not doing, or what they have done? Just briefly.
Well, I think that what INEC has done is to remain within the confines of the existing law, the law as it is today. You know that the Electoral Act is still going through a process of amendment, and until those amendments are completed, the issue of electronic transmission of results and the other issues will still be in abeyance. But as of today, I think they are operating within the extant laws as they are today.
You think the election will be free and fair tomorrow?
It is our hope and our prayer that the elections will be free and fair, so that the Anambra people will be proud of what they have achieved.
Thank you so much, Mr. Festus Okoye, the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Election Monitoring Group. And that's it for now. It's back to you, Anne.
All right, thank you very much. Our correspondent Sheon Okibaloe there in Awka, the Anambra State capital, and he was been talking to us about preparations on elections for tomorrow. In less than 17 hours, we'll be knowing how all that will go down. But in just a moment, when he's across Nigeria returns, we'll be talking infrastructure in Enugu State. Please stay with us.
Move back. Let's move back. Move back, please. No, I don't want there. Do that. Go to zero. Yes, sir. There's one there. There's one. There is one there. There's one. There's one there. Yes. Yes, there's one. Why do you put the vote when you finish voting? Yeah. Let me drop it. Let me go out.
I'm coming.
Don't touch me.
For a particular polling unit, the materials arrived almost 2 hours behind schedule, which I consider unfortunate. In 2017, after our 18 years experience in democracy, we still talk about late arrival of materials. Even more so when the election is only in one state out of the 37 states in Nigeria. It's a sad commentary on INEC that in 2017 we're still talking about late arrival of materials. But that said, I'm happy the election is going on. People have turned out in large numbers, as you can see. People are hoping to vote here peacefully, and we believe that at the end of the day, the ballot will be counted and results entered peacefully. But we are watching. We are sad that INEC decided to do manual transmission of results to the ward collation centers. We thought they would have done electronic as our law permits, but be that as it may, we are ready for the election.
So you should show money. Don't tell somebody to go and vote. One member. Good afternoon. Then you know the other one. The other my covered bit of force. It's not a no, you are going to see a phone. Take that. This is it. This is a man. Why would I put my hand This is a man. Put your hand and try it. This is the ring. Madam. What reports are you getting from across the state? Are you impressed? Well, some reports of failed card reader, you know, and this card reader stuff is something INEC must do something about.
In fact, the one in my community here, polling unit 013, the technician is suspecting that they brought a card reader not meant for that polling unit. So INEC should avoid this type of lapse. They have enough time to configure these card readers so that on the day of an election like this, everything will be smooth. I've got reports across the state that in some places the card readers are not functioning, and they refuse to do manual accreditation, which means if they don't, if they're not able to rectify the problem with the card readers, those people will be disenfranchised. I thought they have what they call incident funds, where in the case of malfunction of a card reader, you write the names of those who have valid voters card and give them incident forms to fill, and they cast their votes.
Fellow Biafrans, you can see today, Friday 17th, all Biafran all over the world, this is for main market. They come to buy what they will use in sitting at home tomorrow, as we have prescribed it as sit at home, often Saturday. That is what tomorrow will be. You can see them entering market, buying chickens that they will use in sitting at home tomorrow to enjoy with their family. My brother, can't get him. I'm going to walk up, okay? But then I feel him. Hey, it's even Saturday. And what is it, man? Eti aka no nsara. In preparation of what is going to happen tomorrow, viewers all over the world, you can see the Biafran trooping the market to buy what they will use in sitting at home tomorrow. As we mark it, Open Sarah Day. As the zoo went to the polling booth to go and vote, we the Biafrans, we are sitting in our home enjoying our Open Sarah, as you can see.
The popular Niger Bridge acts as a boundary between Delta State and its closest neighbor, Anambra State. The bridge sitting on the River Niger connects the southeast to the western part of the country. It is bordered by Delta State to the west and Anambra to the east. Since its construction in December 1965, the bridge has proven to be one of Nigeria's busiest ones, fostering trade and investment. And it gets busier than usual. That's because the Delta State Police Command is planning to shut it down because of the Anambra elections to prevent any breach of security. There is also a stop and search exercise to ensure that hoodlums do not have access into the state.
If it no road and we no go drive. Because if you see, if a passenger they call motor, they carry passenger they come market. I be say you go see where to make carry person go market. But if you road no go, I be say we go stay for house so because of our life.
Down into Onitsha, the commercial hub of Anambra State, the once busy Onitsha market appears scanty and almost deserted. Traders are not smiling as they lament poor sales, obviously due to the preparations for the no-movement policy during elections. For some of them, they are ready and willing to go to the polls, while others feel reluctant.
Now I'll be at home, but for election, I will boycott the election. I won't vote any for anybody.
Although it will affect our market, but at least I encourage Anambrarians to come out en masse and vote.
With all of these in place, it appears the people are set to go to the polls to elect who will govern them for the next 4 years. And the security agencies say they will leave nothing to chance to ensure the success of the exercise.